Every single day in this country, an older adult falls and breaks a hip. And here's what keeps me up at night as a physician: within 1 year of that fall, 1 in 3 of those people will no longer be living independently. That's not a scare tactic. That's reality. But here's the good news. Falls don't just happen. Your body warns you, sometimes months or even years before a fall occurs. And today, I'm going to show you a simple 5-second test you can do right now, standing in your living room, that reveals exactly how stable you really are. This test checks your hips, your ankles, your reaction time, and your brain's connection to your feet. 5 seconds, that's all it takes. Now listen, this isn't about shame. This isn't about making you feel old or broken. This is about awareness, because when you know where you stand, literally, you can do something about it. And I promise you, by the end of this video, I'll give you a simple plan, 3 to 4 days a week, about 20 minutes a day, exercises that target your exact weak spots. So before we dive in, drop a comment below. Tell me your age and where you're watching from. I read every single one. I want to know who's in our community today. All right, let's get into this. For more than 25 years, I've helped people just like you adults in their 60s, 70s, and 80s who didn't come in after a fall. They came in because they felt their confidence slipping. Uncertain on stairs, uncertain getting out of the shower, uncertain walking on uneven ground. And what I learned early in my career changed everything about how I practice. Balance isn't something you either have or you don't. Balance is a skill, and like any skill, it can be measured, it can be trained, and it can absolutely be improved. The test I'm going to show you today is used by clinicians around the world. Physical therapists use it, geriatric specialists use it, researchers studying fall prevention use variations of it constantly. Why? Because it works. In just 5 seconds, this test reveals the hidden conversations happening between your brain, your muscles, and your joints. It exposes weaknesses you might not even know you have. And here's what frustrates me. Most people never take this test until after they've fallen, after they've spent weeks recovering, after they've lost confidence. I don't want that for you. So today, we're flipping the script. We're being proactive. We're catching the problem before it catches you. Now, I need to be honest with you about something. This test is simple, but what it reveals is profound. Your balance relies on 3 major systems working together: your vision, your vestibular system, that's your inner ear, and your proprioception, that's your body's sense of where it is in space. When you're young, these systems have plenty of backup. If one struggles, the others compensate. But as we get older, these systems naturally decline, not dramatically, not overnight, but slowly, steadily. And one day, you reach for something on a high shelf. You turn your head quickly. You step off a curb you didn't see clearly. And suddenly, there's no backup left. That's when falls happen. But, and this is crucial, you can rebuild those backups. You can strengthen those systems. And it starts with knowing where you stand today. Before we do this test together, let's talk safety. I want you to be smart about this. First, find a sturdy counter, a heavy chair, or a wall. Something you can grab if you need to. Keep it within arm's reach the entire time. Second, if you're feeling dizzy right now, if you've had a recent fall, or if you have any neurological symptoms that concern you, skip this test today. Talk to your doctor or physical therapist first. There's no rush. The test will be here when you're ready. Third, wear flat, supportive shoes. Or if your floor isn't slippery, you can do this in bare feet or socks. But no slick socks on hardwood. That's asking for trouble. Finally, make sure your space is clear. No throw rugs, no pet toys, no grandkids building blocks. All right? This should feel safe, comfortable, controlled. Let's do this together. Here's exactly what we're going to do. Stand up when you're ready. Take your time. I'll wait. Good. Now, position yourself next to your counter or chair. Place one hand lightly on it for now, just to get steady. Feet should be hip-width apart. That's about as wide as your hips. Take a breath. Let your shoulders drop. We're not in a hurry. Now here's the test. You're going to lift one foot off the ground, about 2 inches is plenty, and try to hold that position for 5 seconds. That's it. 5 seconds, not 5 minutes. Not standing on one foot with your eyes closed doing math problems. Just 5 simple seconds. Let me show you exactly how to do it. I'm going to lift my right foot first, just a couple inches. I'm keeping my eyes forward, focused on a spot on the wall. I'm not looking down at my feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Then I put my foot down gently. Now, do the same thing on the other leg. Here's a key point. You can keep your fingertips on the counter lightly for safety, but for the test to count, try not to grip the counter hard or lean on it. Light touch only. If you can do this 5 seconds each leg with just light fingertip support, you've passed the basic level. Go ahead. Try it now. I'll wait for you. Pause the video if you need more time. All right. Let me tell you about the mistakes I see people make with this test. Mistake number 1, looking down. When you look down at your feet, you're using your vision to compensate for balance problems. That's cheating in the nicest possible way. Keep your eyes forward on a fixed point. Mistake number 2, holding your breath. This is so common. People concentrate so hard they forget to breathe. But holding your breath actually tenses up your whole body and throws off your balance. Breathe normally, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Mistake number 3, lifting the foot too high. You don't need to bring your knee to your chest. 2 inches off the ground is perfect. Lifting too high changes the test into something different entirely. Mistake number 4, going too fast. Some people rush into position like they're racing. That momentum can actually help you stay stable, but it doesn't count. Move slowly, deliberately. That's what reveals true balance. Mistake number 5, only testing one side. Both legs matter. And I see this all the time. Someone is rock solid on their right leg but wobbly on their left. Or vice versa. That asymmetry is important information. We'll talk about what it means in just a moment. So how did you do? Let's break down what your results mean. If you held 5 seconds on each leg with only light fingertip support on the counter and you felt relatively stable, congratulations. Your basic balance is intact. But don't stop watching, because intact doesn't mean optimal, and the exercises I'm going to show you will help you build an even bigger safety margin. If you needed to grip the counter firmly, or if you wobbled significantly, or if you could only make it to 3 or 4 seconds, you're in the borderline zone. This doesn't mean you're in danger, but it does mean your balance reserves are lower than they should be. You've got less margin for error when life throws you a curveball. This is actually the best time to catch it. You have room to improve, and the exercises I'm about to show you can make a real difference. If you couldn't lift your foot at all without grabbing the counter hard, if you felt genuinely unsafe, if you put your foot down immediately, please hear me. This isn't about failure. This is valuable information. I would encourage you to talk with your doctor or get a referral to a physical therapist. They can do a more complete assessment and create a personalized plan for you. Now, some of you noticed something else. One leg was significantly worse than the other. This is extremely common, and it tells us something important. It often points to a weakness in your hip stabilizers on one side, an old injury you've compensated for, or a difference in how your ankles are functioning. We're going to address that. Let me explain what's actually happening in your body during this test. When you stand on one leg, even for 5 seconds, you're asking multiple systems to work together in perfect harmony. First, your hip stabilizers. There's a group of muscles on the outside of your hip, the gluteus medius, in particular that work to keep your pelvis level when one leg is off the ground. If these muscles are weak or inactive, your whole body sways. You compensate by gripping with your toes, tensing your shoulders, doing anything to stay upright. Research consistently shows that weak hip stabilizers are strongly associated with fall risk in older adults. Second, your ankle strategy. Your ankles are constantly making tiny adjustments when you stand. They're sensing the ground beneath you and making micro corrections faster than you can consciously notice. This is called your ankle strategy. It's your first line of defense against losing balance. If your ankles are stiff, or if the small muscles in your feet are weak, this strategy doesn't work well. You lose that subtle control. Third, proprioception. This is a big word, but the concept is simple. Proprioception is your body's ability to sense where it is in space without looking. Close your eyes for a moment and touch your nose with your finger. You didn't need to see your finger to know where it was. That's proprioception. Your feet and ankles are loaded with sensors that tell your brain what position you're in. When these sensors become less accurate, which happens naturally with age, your balance suffers. Fourth, your vestibular system. Deep inside your inner ear, there's a remarkable system that senses head movement and helps you stay oriented. It works with your vision and proprioception to keep you stable. When this system is impaired from aging, medication side effects, or inner ear problems, balance becomes much harder. And fifth, reaction time. When you start to wobble, your brain has to notice the problem, decide what to do, and send signals to your muscles to correct it. That whole process takes time. As we age, that reaction time slows down. Just a fraction of a second, but in balance, fractions of seconds matter. Here's the incredible news. Every single one of these systems can be improved with targeted exercise. Every single one. That's what we're going to do right now. I'm going to show you 5 exercises. Each one targets a specific system we just talked about. You don't need fancy equipment. You don't need a gym membership. You need a chair, a counter, and 15 to 20 minutes. Let's start. This targets your gluteus medius, that crucial hip stabilizer muscle. Stand sideways next to your counter, one hand resting on it lightly. Now, keeping your body tall and straight, lift the leg that's away from the counter straight out to the side, about 8 to 12 inches. Keep your toes pointing forward, not up to the ceiling. Keep your hips level, don't lean over to the other side. Hold for 2 seconds at the top, then lower slowly. That's 1 rep. Start with 8 repetitions on each side. Easy version, smaller range of motion. Lift only 6 inches. Harder version, loop a resistance band around your ankles. The band adds tension and makes your hip work harder. The key here is quality over quantity. Don't swing your leg. Control the movement. Feel the muscle on the outside of your hip doing the work. Exercise 2, ankle circles and alphabet. This improves ankle mobility and wakes up all those small stabilizer muscles in your lower leg and foot. Sit in a sturdy chair. Extend one leg out in front of you. Now, keeping your legs still, move just your foot in slow circles. 5 circles clockwise, then 5 counterclockwise. Then, still with your leg extended, pretend you're writing the alphabet with your big toe. Go through A to Z, making each letter deliberately. Easy version, only do circles or just go through A to M. Harder version, do this standing on one leg, with counter support of course. This might feel silly, but I promise you your ankles will feel different after a few weeks of this. Exercise 3, heel-toe-toe standing. This is a proprioception challenge. It forces your body to sense where it is in a narrower stance. Stand next to your counter with one hand on it. Now, place one foot directly in front of the other, heel to toe, like you're standing on a tightrope. Just stand there. hold for 20 to 30 seconds. Then switch, put the other foot in front. Easy version. Keep both hands on the counter. Stand for just 10 seconds. Harder version, light fingertip touch only or eventually no touch at all. You can also close your eyes briefly, but only if you feel very stable and have the counter right there. When I first started doing balance work with patients, this was often the exercise that made the biggest difference fastest. It's simple, but it reprograms your balance system. Exercise 4, slow marching in place. This trains reaction time and coordination while building hip strength. Stand near your counter. You can start with one hand on it. Now, lift one knee up about hip height if comfortable and hold for 1 to 2 seconds. Lower it slowly. Then lift the other knee. Alternate back and forth. Slowly, deliberately. This is not jogging in place. This is slow, controlled marching. 10 lifts on each leg to start. Easy version, lower knee lift, just clear the ground by a few inches. Harder version, add a 3-second hold at the top, or try it without holding the counter. The slow speed is what makes this effective. It forces your brain and body to coordinate carefully with each step. Exercise 5, weight shifts with head turns. This integrates your vestibular system, your inner ear balance center with your movement. Stand with feet hip-width apart, hands on the counter. Now, shift your weight to your right foot, not lifting the left foot, just shifting weight. As you shift right, turn your head slowly to look over your right shoulder. Hold for 2 seconds. Then shift your weight to the left and turn your head to look over your left shoulder. That's 1 repetition. Do 5 on each side to start. Easy version. Keep your head still and just practice the weight shifts. Harder version, close your eyes during the head turn. Only do this if you feel very stable and have both hands on the counter. This exercise often feels strange at first. Some people get a little dizzy. If that happens, go slower, keep your eyes open, and don't push it. If dizziness persists, talk to your doctor. But for most people, this gets easier quickly, and that improvement means your vestibular system is adapting and getting stronger. All right, you now have 5 exercises. Each one targets a specific weak link in your balance system. Let me give you a simple weekly plan. Days per week, 3 to 4. You don't need to do this every day. Your body needs rest to adapt and improve. Time per session, 15 to 25 minutes. That includes warm-up, the exercises, and a little cool down. Warm up first. Walk in place for 2 to 3 minutes. Roll your shoulders. Get the blood moving. Then do all 5 exercises. Take your time. Quality over speed. On alternating days, focus more on the exercises where you felt weakest. If your right hip was wobbly, do extra hip stabilizer work on that side. Sample week. Monday, full routine, all 5 exercises. Wednesday, full routine. Friday, full routine. Sunday, light day, just heel-toe standing and weight shifts with head turns. 10 minutes total. After 2 weeks, retake the 5-second balance test. I think you'll be surprised, pleasantly surprised. And if you're not seeing improvement, or if anything hurts, that's important information too. It might mean you need some one-on-one guidance from a physical therapist who can assess you in person. I want to leave you with something important. Falls are not inevitable. Let me say that again. Falls are not inevitable. Yes, balance naturally changes as we age. That's biology. But how we respond to that change, that's our choice. Every time you do these exercises, you're making a deposit in your balance bank account. You're building a cushion, a safety margin, more room for life's unexpected moments. And that margin isn't just about preventing falls. It's about confidence. It's about walking into a room without scanning for what you could grab if you tripped. It's about playing with your grandchildren on the floor and getting back up without fear. That's what we're really building here. So here's what I want you to do next. First, Leave a comment below. Tell me, how did you do on the 5-second test? Pass, borderline, or red flag? And which exercise are you going to start with? I read every comment, and I'll do my best to respond. Second, if this video was helpful, hit that like button. It helps more people find this content, people who might really need it. And third, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. I release new videos on balance, mobility, and simple daily movement tests regularly. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next one. You took an important step today. You tested yourself. You got honest information about where you stand. And now you have a plan. Most people never get this far. I'm proud of you for being here. I mean that. Now go do those exercises. Start today, even if you only do one. Your future self will thank you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.